on, man. Is it on yet or what?
Shut up.
I want to be tiny all night. Come on.
Quiet. All right? I'm working on it.
Work harder already.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up. Tell me to shut up again.
We got to get the show.
Do it. Don't you dare.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Don't you dare.
Right in the face.
Don't you dare.
No, get right in the
get.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. We're going to flick across the room.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. I'm Scene Snobs Jr. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast. Yes, right. It is Tuesday night, and we're here.
Oh, yes, we are. And you're here. And we're very grateful for that.
And we appreciate you, whether you are watching live or you are back with us anytime after that in podcast format or on video.
Through the magic of the internet, you can watch us anytime, day, night, in the weird hour when you can't fall asleep and need someone to soothe you and put you to bed. We're probably not the best choice, but thanks for trying.
We will lull you, though.
But it's, like a strangled cat.
Okay,
I don't trust you lulling.
No lulling? Okay,
no lulling.
I will say this, though. We are excited to be back. We have a very special announcement.
We do?
No.
Am I pregnant again?
We do not. Well, actually, we do. We didn't announce it last week. We're announcing it this week. We're going to do it top of the show because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We are going to be on a television streaming channel, and we are going to be on a radio station.
Oh,
yes, Radio Hub Free City is going to broadcast our radio, our audio only, and we are going to be on Venue TV.
Venue TV, yeah.
So we are very excited about that. So you guys can check us there. We'll put up more.
Righteous.
Yes, we'll put up more information as we go.
You know what else is righteous? Seeing Jason Taylor tonight is righteous. Hi, Jason.
We are beautiful men.
Calling us beautiful men. You're a beautiful man. I appreciate you. It's good to see you. Oh, is there a Ron Lippett in there?
We got
a little Ron. What's up, buddy?
The magnificent CRP remembers all. That's true.
Yeah, when I remember to remember.
You do. Jason Taylor here, he says, how are you guys? We are doing pretty well.
Not as good as you look, buddy.
It's all about the looks. That's your value.
I find you beautiful inside and out. Don't listen to him.
And Paul
hey, what's up, Paul? Getting it done.
Yes, done and done. Consider it done. Check them out. Auto detailing. We have links up on our site. They are one of our sponsors now. And then if you are in the North Carolina area, get your car done by Consider It Done.
Boom.
I feel like I did that. I feel like I nailed that.
That was about the best one you've done. You don't need to hit anything. It's okay.
Hey, Casey, do you remember me? Nobody remembers you.
I remember you many.
Mick Manhattan looks like he's about to have fins to the left, fins to the right, and he's the only bait in town. Ron, you ain't wrong.
That was glorious, Ron. Thank you for that.
And then I put on my hat because my hat is like a shark's fin.
Oh, is it?
That's some 1998 Deep Blue Sea LL Cool J stuff for you.
Right.
I'm getting my Magnum on tonight.
Yeah, I see you just really pimping it. You're sending out some vibes this evening. You're really strutting your stuff. You're just airing it out, man. It's beautiful. Yeah. Look, as someone who does this all the time,
it's true.
It's beautiful to see you joining, and I'm happy because I feel like part of this is my influence. And even if it isn't, I'm taking all of your color going on. It's a beautiful thing. It's wonderful. You should always shine.
We're going to talk about some. The name of the episode is Seriously Absurd. We're going to talk about some serious events going on, current events happening right now that I just don't think we can not talk about.
I mean, we could. We could just not talk about them. It could be like Thanksgiving dinner. It's just a bunch of people hanging out, not talking about the stuff.
Wow, your Thanksgivings are way different than mine.
Why, you guys talk about everything?
I don't.
Oh, you're in Jersey. You guys yell at people.
No, we don't. I've never had anybody, but thanks.
Oh. Yeah, because you were an orphan. I'm so sure, Jersey City. Come on with all your stories. Stop it.
It was like an Oliver Twist episode.
No.
Me looking like Jabba the Hutt, walking around like, can I have some more? I'm starving.
Me in the background.
Oh my God. Oh, sort of. Yeah, that's what I look like. I know.
No, you don't. You stop it. You look beautiful.
Yeah, in this
You're a magnificent human.
Hawaiian shirt that I have.
Right.
Well, I did want to. I kind of want to open up a little bit, talking about current events, and like I said, we're going to get serious, but we're going to do it in a way where we'll still be fun. So hopefully, you guys will be there along with us.
You don't have to stay anymore.
Yeah, just beat it.
We're getting serious now.
Get out of here. So, first thing I want to talk about tonight, a lot's been going on in Afghanistan.
Yes.
It's coming up on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. That's, of course, we were both there, and, adults coming into our own at that time. You were
18-year-old dummy me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you soon after joining the military for you and things like that.
Yeah, actually, my report date was the month after.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, and I wanted to get your opinion on like everything that's going on in Afghanistan right now. When talking about absurdity and just like kind of like how it's been going about. I want to get your opinion as a veteran seeing Afghanistan being taken back by the Taliban. What are your impressions with that?
It's kind of weird because I've usually, for most of my life, I look through things as the eyes of a historian. I very much so see what events correlate to things that have happened in the past and where we line up and what thing, because history is cyclical. We're just going through another event time, and it's just a matter of where we were at another period as humans, because we kind of suck and we kind of circle around the same thing. So we have the same destructive nature. So it's sad to see, that was a huge part of our life. It's been 20 years, that's been my entire adulthood has taken place over the course of the Afghan war. So, it's also something that's happened throughout history in other places where no one's ever been able to take it. It's been this since the British, started imperialism way back when with good old Winston Churchill, like as a young lieutenant, I think back then. So, I mean, it's been going on for years. It's been going on for generations at this point. And it's sad to see what happened over this course of events because it was a lot of, friends, family, and people that we were lost over there. And it's unfortunate to see. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to try to explain this is very much so a Vietnam thing happening again, but it's also important that we do stick to our guns and potentially get out of there. As much as I wanted to be able to support the Kurdish people and what happened over those events when we pulled out there, it's tough when you're literally looking at trading lives.
Yeah,
and it's hard when who has the right and responsibility to that becomes such a big nebulous thing. So it's unfortunate to see, but it's a very odd time and it's a very odd piece of history because it's curious to see what the effects will be of this in future now and where the road leads us moving forward.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And one thing, speaking from somebody who didn't serve, and seeing, 9/11 affected me more on a personal level of having been a firefighter and having, seeing how it affected so many people and just sickness, afterwards, especially friends and such, that almost fueled back in the day going over, fighting and doing that. But now as the years have been going on, 20 years, that's a lot of years. And seeing so many young people come back, 2 brothers go to war, come back different. For me, with everything that you're saying, on top of that, I don't want to sound callous when I say it, but it's at what point, like you said, do you just have to leave?
Yeah, I mean, so then that's the problem is you see that almost that retreat. You see the same images we saw of Vietnam that inspired us to never again, to be angry, to remember that. It makes me upset to see those, because it's that star-spangled inherence that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to see that and to accept that that's what it is, but it's also at the same token, what is the cost? What does the cost continue to be? If we're always complaining and talking about trying to do things better, well, if we want to do better, we have to find a way to do it by us first, because we sure as heck ain't doing better for anyone else until we take care of ourselves. Just like relationships, man. Yeah. Just like, where we are right now. Got to take care of yourself a little bit, figure your shit out, and then you can move forward. And unfortunately, as a country, we're doing that in a really bad way, going through a lot of tough breakups and some tough realities. And a lot of things are coming to light amongst fellow communities that are stirring things up across the nation. So it's a strange and uncomfortable and tough and difficult and confusing and problematic and exciting and wonderful and crazy, wild time to be alive.
And just kind of remembering, like, right after 9/11, the closeness, and that went on for a few years.
Yeah, stuck it out for a little bit.
Of course, you saw it break apart a little bit here and there, like when problems would occur, but there was still like a closeness, there was still like a patriotism to people. And then to come to today and see how divisive everything is, like that in my thought process and everything is like how heartbreaking it is. Taliban's taken back over, almost being given.
They have been given. It's just all on a silver platter. And I don't know how it all came about. I don't know what the deal was. I would love to find out. I would love to know what all of the details were of how exactly all of this went down and broke down, perhaps better. Through the fullness of time, of course, we'll find out. And I am very interested to see how all of it plays out, to see what happens. It's a sad, unfortunate time. And it's difficult to see because, especially being, the father of a daughter, it's so hard thinking about what those young women are going through, what those women who are potentially getting freedom, the potentially finally being able to practice and live in an open, free society, and now having that stripped away and returning to whatever law it sounds like they're moving back to. Well, it's there's just, there's a lot of things that factor in, and it's just a difficult time. Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, we have a couple comments, and I have a couple other questions I want to get your comparison on this issue. Ron Lippett says, father of three high potential daughters, husband of an amazing physician, having a super hard time wrapping my head around the dark future of 19 million talented Afghani women who now essentially become property.
Exactly, Ron, 100%, man. Sure. No, 100%. That is exactly right.
And it's so tough, but again, it comes down to at what point, like, I'm not saying we couldn't. I'm not saying that wouldn't be the way to go or however it is. I am not a strategist in the military and such. So how long do we stay? Like, how long, yes, there's obviously going to be huge changes that are, like you guys said, especially with the women over there and how they're being treated. But how do we not pull back? How do
at what point is what's full commitment? What does that look like cost wise? And Americans are war weary. We're kind of tired of these big wars, big expensive things, losing all of these people, friends and families, heroes who just continue to sacrifice, and it continues to be for what? What are we gaining at this point? Like defense, protection, of course, always about that, but what are we defending? What are we protecting? What are we looking out for? So it's a difficult time. Like I said, it's a real churn at the moment. So
definitely. And Ron also says, thank you for your service, Casey.
It was all for you, Ron.
And Brian says, don't compare how Vietnam veterans are treated to Afghan vets. I don't know that we compared how the veterans are treated. We didn't say anything about how they're treated. So. We were more talking about the nature of
what's happening, more or less just the situations that are happening at the time right now. So it's not in no way, Brian, would I ever compare Vietnam and Afghan vets. Different times, different circumstances. No, it's not a comparison.
I think from what I took from that was more along the lines of like overall how it was handled by the
politicians and government side. That's more what I was discussing. The fact that we are seeing very similar images to what we saw then. That's all.
No. So, and actually that leads me to like my next question. I want to know what you think about this. How damaging is it to have so many different presidential, I don't want to call them regimes, but like, presidential cabinets come into during a war like this? 20 years, and we've seen 4 different presidents,
right?
And they're kind of, in my opinion, not saying that he doesn't play a role into it, but you can't. It's kind of unfair to pin this all on Biden.
Well, and a big part of that is why the Joint Chiefs of Staff were established, was originally to be part of that bridge. So they could be the heads of the government in their positions and then go discuss with politicians who are the heads of theirs, like the Secretary of Defense, blah, blah, Vice President, President. So that way there was a bridge. So that way these generals were not there just during the time of any president, any given regime. And lately it has become that, where they're retiring or leaving out of protest and stuff of that nature. So on both sides. So, I mean, it hurts the future of political knowledge and where we're going, because your strategy is always changing. And we see that continuously happening with this many changes in strategy. Of course, there's going to be hiccups along the way. You've got one guy who's going to go drone crazy and blow everyone all to hell, and the other one who just wants boots on the ground. And you continue to swap that up, and you get mixed messages. So it's difficult to sometimes attain the mission in that kind of situation. So it's tough when you have that many regimes coming through, because you also have different political pressures, from different sides, from different interests. So who's paying for your campaign is going to kind of decide what your position is. Like, we need to get more tanks over here because now we have a new tank contract for the DoD. So weird stuff like that, man. And it's become more of that sort of game, I think, more than it has been about attaining victory, because we don't know what the hell victory looks like anymore.
Yeah.
It's tough to say what victory looks like. We haven't had a whole lot of real wins if we don't know what the objectives are all the time, and we're always in and out, in and out. There's not a whole lot of places to like take over and say, all right, we want it this way. What's the win? What's the get?
And that has changed so much,
right?
Because, I mean, Bush, mission accomplished.
Well, the war on terror is one that's so difficult. It's opening up the world. It's constant, man. There are constantly rebellions. There's constantly upheaval. Yeah. There's constantly dictatorships that our governments are talking to. You know what I'm saying? So it's all across the board. It's just proliferation of these conflicts. And
the fact that it does become a political strategy during campaigns is so hard, because it's like, it's just not what it should be.
No, it's really the whole point of that is to have these chiefs of staff who are these large entities who are able to do this and communicate what the position of the military is, what their strategy is, what they're moving towards, and work with the president and with the Secretary of Defense and kind of align the mission. That's what the purpose is, not to say, no, we promise our constituents that we're bringing home this whole division. So there we go.
And that was the thing. It always became something different over the 20 years. Like I was saying, like the mission accomplished, then Bin Laden was caught, and then it's this and that and this and that. And it's like, you guys always want that political gain of a win. I'm dumbing down what you're saying.
No, I'm hearing it. No.
So, and changing it, for Americans at home watching this, like, it's so tough, because it's like, what are we cheering for?
Yeah, what do we want? Do we want our troops home? Do we want, we seem to scream for that, and then all of a sudden we're getting them home, and it's the wrong thing. Man, it's life. There's no win. There's no 100% anymore. Nobody's getting everything that you can. It's, hey, get what you can and then move to the next objective. And unfortunately, it's weird, screwy things right now.
So for me, I know that I'm in this place where I'm trying to learn, like talk to you, talk to other veterans, talk to many people from different walks of life to see what their feelings are on it. I get the suffering over there, and it's heartbreaking. It truly is. But at what point, especially in our next topic, it kind of plays into this, but like, especially how our country is right now, like, should we Like I often ask them, like, should we be there? Can we fix another country, somebody else, when we aren't even fixing ourselves?
Well, it's easy when you have the banner of freedom. Everything's easy when you're bringing freedom, bro.
That's true.
Like, come on, man. Who doesn't want to fucking bring freedom?
Oh my God.
Of course we want to bring freedom.
Oh my God.
We're the fucking shit at bringing freedom, man.
Before we get into that point, though, I do want to go over some of the comments that we have. Jason Taylor says, "I didn't know you served Casey. Thank you, my friend." No more thank yous for Casey. Ron did it. Now you guys are just copying him.
It's covered. It's covered.
Ron did it. Now stop trying to be like Ron.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
It is it's well deserved. If I'm in Taiwan right now watching the U.S. break its promises to Afghanistan and the people who aided us, I'd be freaking out. China must be licking their chops about their breakaway republic these days.
I even made a Chiang Kai-shek joke earlier at work, and you know how many people got it? Nobody. It died. It fell. He didn't even get it. Just now.
I didn't.
No.
But in fairness, I was reading.
So you know who Chiang Kai-shek is?
No, I had no idea.
Wow, fantastic.
Wait, was he in Big Trouble in Little China?
Okay, nope. Let's go to the next comment.
Okay, sorry. Casey.
David Lopan.
Okay, good. Casey, I never knew you were military till today. Thank you for your service.
Absolutely, Brian.
Kingsley, another veteran, right? Kingsley's
Yes, he is.
Yes, thank you, Kingsley, for his service as well.
Thank you, Kingsley. Love you, brother.
Check out his show. Absolutely. Main Street Cinema. The entire premise was flawed. Where did the $2 trillion go? We raised per capita GDP from the hundreds, and it's now 570-ish. They went from crazy poor to really poor. Would more time fix that? That's a great question.
You know, and that's the thing. If we were willing to spend time on the infrastructure, if we were willing to invest more time on those aspects, of course, we could give them a boost and probably get all of that moving forward. It's just really difficult to foresee doing that just as a nation. I don't see enough people getting behind votes for that. And that kind of blows it all up, man.
Yeah.
So,
Ron says, I don't think anyone disagrees with us leaving. It's the chaos of our seemingly unplanned departure, which stinks.
And a lot of that is unfortunate because a lot of military things have to be done unplanned. At least to us, it seems unplanned. They've probably planned it for months. There's an exit strategy. It's just when they're told, get up, go now, it's what you do. Yeah. So that's why it's different. So like we look at it and we go, wow, this looks terrible. It's fucking perfect on their end. Like they're out.
And a lot of it too, like you saying the exit strategy, they said the end of August. And of course the Taliban started pushing at the beginning of August and taking over things. And, you know, they basically had to say, like, we still got to go. Like, we just have either you guys we gave you the tools and what we could.
I mean, that's the other thing. 20 years of helping, assisting, training, working with these groups and having a lot of them turn around and join the other side because it just seems like the winning side all of a sudden. Like, that's hard, but that's a reality, you know? It's tough to put our values into a different nation and go, well, they're all obviously exactly like us. They didn't live like us. We don't have any idea, you know? It's very different. So it's difficult to...
Bringing up the next point, Brian says, no way can we fix the Middle East.
No, and that's the problem is looking at it as fixing. It's people got to figure their shit out. You know what I'm saying? And that's their business to handle.
And I think that comes to the point of, like, again, our next topic. After we finish comments, we'll go to it. But who do you want to be is what a lot of countries have to ask themselves. Even us, even the U.S. has to ask. And I think that's where we're at right now, getting to the point where we're asking ourselves, like, who do we want to be as a nation? Mm-hmm. You know, so all these countries.
Well, yeah, that's what it is. What do we want to stand for anymore? What's our purpose? What's our driving goal?
Yeah.
I'm still being there. You can't sell pork chops to a Sunni hot boy. You cannot.
Kingsley,
you cannot.
Well put. Corinne says, hi, guys. Hi, Corinne.
Hi. What's up, Shaba, Corinne? Love you guys.
And Ron says, is it really in the middle?
It's, you know what? it's thereabouts.
Kind of hangs to the left, but, you know, whatever.
Me too. We're hanging buddies.
Oh, my God. And it's so true. I know it from all of our showers together.
Whoa.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
Listen, a 12-hour show is a long show. We need to shower a few times.
Valid. I don't think we needed to tell everyone.
That's true. Well, going into the next topic and kind of bringing it home, and the mask mandate.
Yeah.
You know, we live in Virginia.
Yes, we do.
We live in two parts of Virginia.
Yeah,
but
we do.
Actually, the counties that we're in.
Well, I'm closer to your part now. I'm in the mountains, man.
True, and your daughter, just like my sons, are in the same boat with the mask mandate.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was our governor came out. Governor Northam said mask mandate for schools. They all have, kids and teachers, everybody has to wear masks. Frederick County, where the county I'm in, came out and said, yeah, we're not going to follow that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to leave it up to the parents. Mm-hmm. And it's creating a lot of turmoil in this county. Mm-hmm. I know. And parents just freaking out and screaming and yelling. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, I cannot, and I want to defer to you in just a second. To kind of rant a little bit.
Please, no, rant away. These are some of my favorites.
The thing that pisses me off.
Join in. You do your thing.
Every comment I see, every talk I have, every reason that is given to me by people who are against masks, it is not a medical thing, because when you really delve into it and they're like, well, I have a medical condition. What's your condition? It's never like asthma or anything. It comes down to, it's just not comfortable. And how can we expect, I don't even want to wear it for 7 or 8 hours a day while I'm working. How can I expect my kids to wear it for 5 to 6 hours a day? Putting that aside, that your entire argument is about comfort, and your entire argument is freedom reigns free. You sound like an idiot, and you just don't know it. Hey,
talk to them, bro. I'm right here. It's okay.
I'm so tired.
Yes.
I'm so tired. I love this country.
Mm-hmm. Goddamn right.
I love the concept of freedom, even though most people today just don't seem to understand it. It is not freedom. This isn't nobody. Oh my God! It's
okay.
I really do.
Find the words.
It's just
find the words. They're there.
Even like the federal mandate to get vaccinated.
Yes.
The all the hospital employees and things like that, medical centers and such, the mandate that they have to be vaccinated, and people saying you're taking my freedom away. First of all, primarily Christians. And that's fine if you want to be a Christian, but when you are holding up a sign that says "My body, my choice," as a Christian, and you've shamed a young woman in the past, shame on you. Your fucking freedom bullshit needs to burn in hell. It is not freedom. They're not taking away your freedom if they're requiring for the job that you have to be vaccinated. Yeah, it may be hard. You may lose a pension. You may do this, maybe that. But if you're really on your principle, it's just a requirement. It's not taking away your freedom. You can go get another job. And there are a lot of places hiring. So
all of that.
I'm so tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it.
Well, because it's upsetting. Because it becomes I'm always on the fence, because I truly believe in, you want freedom? You can have as much freedom as you want. You can have the freedom to go kill yourself, to go walk right off that bridge.
Hopefully
and
you don't.
No one tell you any better. That is as much gosh darn freedom as I believe people should be able to have. Unfortunately, if you want to live in a society with different rules, considerations, we want to talk about longevity and respecting people's right to live and not infringing upon their rights. That's the issue. The infringement is coming by potentially what you could be passing on to someone else. Yeah. That's infringing on their right to life, liberty, pursuit, and happiness. And that is my counterpoint, is what gives you the right to infringe on someone else's rights.
And it's so amazing to me that nobody gets that. And, I want to go to the comments first, but I'm going to ask you some questions. We can kind of go back and forth on it. We're going to play a little game called What Do Americans Value More Than Children? And we'll get to that in just a second. So, Corinne, we love you too. Thank you for watching and always supporting. Brian says we can't support a country and provide weapons when they bounce and give those weapons up. It's true.
It's just more wasted money, Brian.
Yeah, it's true. Where we are, they're withholding federal aid to schools that make masks mandatory.
What? I don't understand things. Things are upside down and confusing. It's like we're in a strange spiral. It's like I'm living. I don't know. It's so weird, man. It's so weird.
It hurts my face.
But it also makes sense, because sometimes people just want to be right. And that indignation and righteous anger has just been allowed to be accepted. And, it comes down to that whole consequence culture. You know, somehow we skipped over that. We've rammed into cancel culture, but consequence culture is coming back. And unfortunately, people want to think that their actions are not the ones that are going to have the bad results. It'll never be them. Could never happen to them. And it's that kind of attitude that creates and fosters a lot of, unfortunately, uninformed and possibly harmful decisions.
And it bugs the hell out of me.
As it should.
And Brian says, I was in Home Depot this week and 10% wore masks and social distance. Yeah. And I do believe that if you are vaccinated and you're not wearing a mask, now the Delta variant's out there, we have to loosen up in some ways. In some ways for people, because of how it is, I do believe that you know, if you are vaccinated, you should be able to choose to wear a mask or not. I'm not now. If you go to a store and a store has a sign out and says we require masks, put your mask on. Stop fighting.
Well, it's not even a fight. It's the store has a right to say that. Once again, we're into that whole rights thing where the store has the right to tell you to get the hell out and not serve you.
And you're just idiots to go in there and say that they don't have that right. And you want to scream, you're taking away my freedoms. Nobody's taking away your freedoms. Go shop somewhere else that doesn't require this.
Right.
Go there.
Choose somewhere else.
Oh my God, buy your pillow from the My Pillow guy. He didn't care if you wear a mask. Trust me. Screw that guy. I just hate that guy.
No, that's totally fair. Mike Lindell is a hateable guy, but he's also not a hateable guy when you listen to him in interviews and stuff. Like when he goes on shows, I saw him on Jimmy Kimmel, and he was fantastic on it.
You know who else wasn't hateable?
Who's that?
Before all the bad stuff happened?
Sarah Silverman?
Every cult leader. Everybody liked them until all the bad stuff happened.
Well, totally fair, yeah.
Not saying great. Mike Lindell's going to do any bad stuff, but I'm just saying.
Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, you made him all culty. Oh, yeah, like he's one of the QAnon guys, right? Oh, you got jokes.
Ron Lippett, I want to vomit how science and politics have become.
Thank you, my friend. Yes. Why in the world would that happen? That's just horrifying. That's just what a waste of energy, man. And like the whole idea with the political spectrum of keeping up these couple hot button items so that way they'll piss off their constituents to get more people out to vote just because they're angry.
That's true.
Rather than taking the time to fix them when they're in office. So,
well, I mean, the orange overlord ruined so much.
Well, we've got to be able to have civil discourse and proper discussion. We're supposed to not be able to agree with each other. That's fine.
He doesn't even know words longer than 5 letters. Like, so
well, I'm sure he knows a couple.
Yeah, asshole.
There's one.
Brian says, I won't vax because I'm in the pharma industry and the data is not clear. Now, here, before we get into it, I want to say, you are perfectly within your right to not get vaccinated.
Absolutely.
I am at that point where you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. And I'm not going to shame you for it.
Nope. No one should be.
If you're not vaccinated, you can't go out and start screaming about this, that, or the other thing. Again, if you go to a store and they say you're not vaccinated,
if you're not vaccinated, you can technically get out and do whatever the fuck you want because it's still America. So you can do whatever you want. And I fully support everyone in doing whatever the hell they want as long as it doesn't hurt or infringe other people's rights.
Yep.
That's it.
So there you go. So if you don't want to be vaxxed, that's fine. Please don't. You know, and he followed it up with, I take precautions all the time. And we know you do. We know you do because we talked about it. And
is bringing in Jesus.
Jesus. Let's get on that one, shall we?
Which one?
The real one.
Are you about to climb up that cross?
I like Jesus.
I know
Jesus is
I love Jesus. Jesus was awesome, man. Jesus is amazing. Jesus is just all right with me.
I love it. So I will say this about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I may get really mad at Christians, but that does not mean I hate Jesus.
No, I'm all about the teachings of Jesus. The Gospels are amazing.
Just means that majority of the Christians I've met in my life and that I see don't know Jesus.
I mean, they've read about him.
Not the right words, I guess. They've definitely come on. No bullshit. Another rant. I'm sorry.
Bullshit. Sorry, this is glorious. Go.
I went to Catholic school for 12 years.
Yeah, you did.
I had to read that book.
Easy.
And do you think I read the whole thing?
Of course.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
What?
I wrote a lot of it because I was always in trouble.
Well, yeah, fair.
I'm telling you, I did not read that whole book in that 12-year period. And I'm going to tell you, I will take the Pepsi challenge against any Christian that isn't wearing the cloth.
Yeah.
Except you. You've read the book. I know you've read the book.
Couple times.
And the Pepsi challenge does come with him. He's got to be with me.
It's gonna be fun.
Majority of the Christians I've met and I've talked to in my life, like, because I may not have read the whole book, but I've read a lot of it, and I've gone back to reference the book and research the book and such. And I will say this. Most of you motherfuckers have never read that book, and I don't care what you say. You quote it all the time, but you're actually quoting is the things you find on the internet. I love it. Let's go. We got to go through the comments first because they're piling up, but I love it, and I want you to go. George G3 says, oh, yeah.
Hey, buddy, what's up, George?
The Hawaii Five-0 producers did call, and they said, we want you to be a part of a new show called Casey and the Fat Man, and it takes place in Hawaii. And
to which I immediately said yes.
Yes, me too.
Mike did too. He cried first. I don't know why he was crying. I think it's a great choice of name. I don't know what you were upset about. He's so happy.
It is funny though that you call me Mike there. This was brought up to me the other day. I do go by Mick, of course, as you guys know, but my real name is Mike. But so many of you have been calling me Michael, and I think what I need to tell you guys is my name Mike is not short for Michael. Mike is short for mistake. My parents named me that. It's on the birth certificate. It still rings true. So you got to stop calling me Michael because it just doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit.
Ron says, does it make me a bad person that I love YouTube videos where aircraft passengers are violently pulled off airplanes for not masking? No, it does not make you a bad person.
I truly enjoy anytime public freakouts on Reddit.
Did you see that?
Public freakouts, man.
Did you see that idiot on the New York City subway? Because he went to a mask mandate rally in New York City. He's from Virginia.
Well, that's a winning.
And there's a woman wearing a mask, and he's not wearing a mask, standing right over her. She's an old woman, and there's like nobody else around. And he's screaming in her face about freedoms being taken away. Cool. He's a douchebag.
That's cool, man.
That's cool. Yeah,
that's called aggressive negotiation.
I hate that shit. Jason Taylor said, this is how Americans should be talking to each other with opposing views like humans, not so radical on either side. I love this chat.
Thanks, buddy.
That's because we have nobody from the extreme side coming in.
Well, because it's difficult to have conversations with people that you can't have conversation with.
Yeah.
I think at some point you just have to accept the fact that there are many people on this earth that I love dearly who I simply cannot have certain conversations with about certain things.
Yeah.
You know, that's all there is to it. And there's nothing bad about that. There's nothing wrong with that. That is c'est la vie. That's living, man. I don't want to put any infringements upon their day and make them feel like they're pieces of crap just because we disagree. We also agree on 400 other things. So hey, all right.
Well, and like that's my thing, like about the Christianity. Like again, I grew up Catholic. I do not identify as Catholic.
Oh my gosh. I didn't tell you what I found out.
What?
Everyone. I found out that I was raised congregational, which congregational I already knew was a really cool, chill church, right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, this is pretty relaxed. I mean, we all kind of get together and we read some Bible, we sing like one or two songs, then we go eat, and it's rad. The congregational church is directly derived from the Puritans who landed. So, screw your church, OG America Church right here.
There you go.
Boom.
Well, I didn't. No, I'm not saying the Catholics are the OG. Well, technically they are. The OG.
No, but it doesn't matter because they weren't here.
Maybe not in America, but they are the OG. They're the straight up like started by Jesus church, just wildly skewed. Well, Catholicism, you know, this means universal. So Jesus started the universal church. Well, I'm not really explaining.
But was that officially the first rock? I'm just saying, was that really the first rock, bro?
That's fair.
Bro,
that's fair. I'm
not gonna. The first rock.
I cannot take that away from you. My problem is, though, I don't, because of everything the Catholic Church has done, I don't associate with the Catholic Church anymore because they're wildly wrong on so many things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's putting it so lightly.
Yeah.
But
watch Spotlight.
Yeah. So my biggest issue with Christianity is, again, having faith, believing in God, believing in Jesus. If it doesn't, again, hurt anybody or infringe on anybody's rights or anything like that, I'm all for it. I'm fine with it. I don't mind. I don't even mind if you live your life by your beliefs of the Bible, as long as you're not hurting or tearing people down.
Well, and as like it says in the Bible, to be the light, to simply live your life as best you possibly can, so others are drawn to you, but you are not responsible for changing their hearts. That's only something between them and God. Yep. So right there, it says in the Bible, don't be a pushy asshole.
Yeah, right there.
Right there, man. Like, they literally just lay it out like, don't be a dick. Hey.
I will bring
like,
you...
whoa, don't rub it in people's faces like, I'm going to not go to hell. Ah.
Theologians,
man.
Theologians, I will put it out there. You want to come on the show? I will put you up against Casey, and it will be respected.
Oh, of course. No, it'll be a blast. I love the conversation, and I love hearing every side, because the only way you grow is to learn more. And if you just respect other people, you get the opportunity to listen and learn.
But at least respect some scientists. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, scientists went to school for it. The thing we're supposed to respect people for, the thing that we're as children told our entire lives we need to be going to and shooting for. And then when you become an adult, you're taught to make fun of people who went to school because whatever reason. I never got it, man. There's a weird cycle.
Well, it's so,
I don't get it.
It's so different now, though, with the younger generation.
Yeah.
And that is not me being old saying, well, the younger generation's done.
Oh, no,
like,
it's
good on them.
They're old and saying that, yeah.
But I'm actually like happy with the younger generation. It's like they're like whereas we still put up with our parents' shit. We're still like, we fought, but at the same time we were kind of like, but yeah, we're still Cold War kids, freedom, Star Spangled.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you're right. Dude, come on, we were raised by Iron Eagle, for crying out loud. That was legitimately a movie I watched. It was inspired by. Come on.
I mean, Rocky ended communism. We know that. So for me, seeing a younger generation really step up and be like, we are tired of all your shit, and we're going to make a better life for us, and they are. I respect it, and I'm all about it. And you know what? The world belongs to them. You know, I want them to make a better world, the generation after us, so my kids will live in a better world.
That's the whole point of it, because I'm not going to see it. It's that whole line with by Chiwetel Ejiofor in Serenity. Yeah. That whole, I'm a monster. There's no place for me in the future, better world. You know, I know my place, you know, but it's for the future. It's for the better worlds, for better lives.
I want to be that old person who grows up and that these young people look at and are like, thanks for changing. Thanks for thinking about things. Thanks for listening to what we were saying. Not that old person who's like, you're messing everything up and all my comforts are gone. It's like, well, you know, I'm going to be 40. You know, and I'm not saying like I should, you know, first of all, my whole thing, we can go do a whole episode on how I feel we should be treating older people.
Yeah, there's a lot there. You know, we can unpack that. You know what? We shoot one serious episode once every like 6 months, just to remember.
Just to remember we got to do it. Just open up dialogues on that front.
Make it make it like the C-SPAN call-in show where we're just all right. And now we have next on the line, Robert. Robert, why don't you go ahead?
Jason says, I identify as Christian. 100% agree with you, Mick. Well, you're smart. And that's the best way to be, is just agree with Mick.
I mean, you are smart.
Do I have a new t-shirt? Just agree with Mick?
No.
We do have merch.
We got merch.
Chris, what's up, man? Nice Mega PI starter kit, Mick.
The starter kit. Oh my, I love. Wait, does that make me Higgins or TC? No, I can't be T. I'm not that cool.
You can't fly a helicopter. Not Roger Rod.
Anyone?
No, Rick. Rick was the other guy who owned the club or whatever.
Yeah, who definitely was always doing blow.
Oh my god!
Always, dude. Rick was constantly on cocaine.
Will never convince me that all of them weren't on cocaine.
Oh no. TC, like, he definitely was, but not as bad as Rick. Rick was like in it. He was the one pushing weight because he had the front with the nightclub.
Yeah. And
Magnum was just the party guy who was just hanging out with everybody while also still being an awesome, like,
and have PI. To, you know, he had to go and do PR work.
Yeah, where he's slaying chicks, Rick's slaying chicks.
I mean, they were Vietnam vets.
TC slaying chicks.
You know, good on them. Vietnam vets living in Hawaii, Navy SEALs, you know, they deserve man. They deserve to just do their thing. Jason Taylor says Mick is going to book him down.
Yeah.
God, I knew this would be a problem.
Agnostic.
What about a former Catholic that converted to Islam that's now agnostic? You have 2 hours.
Yeah.
I do. It's my show. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, and Kingsley would be a glorious conversationalist for that.
Oh,
I
Kingsley! I want Kingsley on the show. I just awesome. Kingsley and everybody else who wants to be on the show, because I'd love to have Ron on the show.
Oh yeah,
like there's a bunch of people I want to have
Jason
on the show.
back on. I've always wanted to be on the same show, share a screen with Ron.
Oh my God! Ron, I would just let Ron talk.
But that's all you need. It's a way better show with whatever the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's true. And we're getting there. We have topics. We're gonna do what do American adults find more important than children in a second.
Right.
And then how to piss off Trump supporters. I have a perfect thing to do.
I feel like we're starting to pigeonhole ourselves.
Just the supporters, not all Republicans. I get it. Okay. And Ron Lippitt, the Bible says we shouldn't eat shrimp. The Bible pound sand.
I'm totally fine.
You know what? That's a part I didn't read, and I'm telling you this right now. I agree.
That's why, like, I struggle with a lot of books in that thing.
Which book was it in? The new one or the old one? Because if it's in the new one, I kind of dig the Jesus story.
Well, the Jesus stories are great.
Yeah, I mean, he's very cool. Jesus is a cool dude.
Pretty much the moment when, like, his story ends, everything after that is a little weird. Yeah. And everything before that, I guess, really doesn't count anymore. Because when Jesus showed up, he removed our original sin. Hence, we no longer had to do the acts of contrition that were required because he had come and redeemed us. Hence, Christ the Redeemer. I don't know. I could be fucking wrong here. I'm just a crazy person.
It's all weird. I keep saying, and George E3 says, I keep saying this planet has the human race, the dumbest apparently, and that's why aliens keep screwing with us by doing flat.
Exactly. They're literally flying by going, hey, you guys want to go hang out with the dummies? We're like a zoo to them. Yeah. Like they fly by like, no, don't get out here, lock the doors. These are the dirty ones. These are the ones we told you about.
They're like, they fly past like name it fast jet.
Like a U-2?
Is that a real thing? Or
SR-71?
There you go. They're like passing those and they're just like, this is how fast I can travel. And then they're gone. They're just gone.
Just dusting. Hey, you want to see their dumb faces when we fly?
Idiots.
Turn off the cloaking device. Ha fuckers.
Listen, literally every alien that you see is basically like when we were teenagers driving past somebody going,
they just stole mom's car and they're like, come on, man, let's go party.
Oh, Kingsley says, Mick, what you're saying about old man Mick is one of my dreams as a kid in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Make him see. Yes, yeah, man, absolutely. and I mean, I'm just saying, like, as a black man too, I would love to have you come on the show and talk to us about just how the differences and what how kids are changing the outlook. Mm-hmm. Even like things like in the past, like that was systemic racism that, I've gone to friends and said, like, I can't believe I said that to you. And I never realized that was a shitty thing to say, because like it just was like,
it's learning. It's anything you're not exposed to, anything you don't know, you have to learn. Yeah. You have to gain knowledge, but that's by interacting with other fucking humans, which apparently is too difficult for people.
And listen,
freak out. Yeah,
just listen.
Yeah, don't show up with something to say.
It's taken entirely too long, especially in terms of race in this country, for people to listen. But at least it's like the end of the first season of True Detective when he's like, you know what? But you do it.
What?
You can do the voice. Do the voice.
What voice?
The stars thing.
Sometimes I look up.
There you go.
And I just think like it's the light. And unfortunately, the light's getting burned out, and the dark is winning. Oh, hell, that's not right, Russ. You're looking at it all wrong. See, what if it started as dark, and the light's starting to win?
Boom, there you go.
Boom.
That's what it is. I feel like
really bad Woody.
That was a really that was a really McConaughey Woody.
Yeah, it was McConaughey pretending to do it. That's what it was.
It was a McConaughey
super
Woody.
Deep. Meta.
Watch True Detective season 1.
Yeah,
that's what we'll say. Yeah, and then you can
watch season 2. Season 2. All right,
watch it. It's good.
Season 2 is good.
It's good.
If season 1 didn't exist, season 2 would be phenomenal.
Fair. Season 3 is way better.
Way better.
Oh my God.
Man, Marshall Ali.
Oh
that man chews screen beautifully.
Oh my God.
I want like a movie with just him and Idris Elba and Chiwetel Ejiofor just all squaring off time. And David Oyelowo. God, I don't know how to say his name.
So just black actors that are popular today?
No, what?
I'm just kidding with you, man. That would be an awesome movie.
Right?
And then, if we are sticking with black actors, you throw Regina King in there because
she can direct.
She was amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. Her One Night in Miami was amazing. I'm gonna get Scholastic for the next stop. Maybe. The old one. Okay. The Jewish part. Okay.
Yeah.
Very fair. Very fair.
Gotta love the Torah.
So I want to ask you.
And I want to answer you.
What are things that American adults, majority of American adults,
I feel like this needs a game show interview. We've been too serious. We've reached 51 minutes and everyone's here, and I'm sure we've made them laugh not.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know. I feel like the Hawaiian stuff kind of stuck. All right. Let's play a game. We're gonna play What Do American Adults Value Over Children's Lives? Now, Casey, for 1 billion points.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell me 3 things that American adults value over children's lives?
Hunting.
Our survey says yes.
Do we also enjoy using more plastic and plastic utensils and creating more plastics?
Our survey says climate change. We'll accept it
for convenience. Do we also love traveling
the
far
irradiation
distances in our own vehicles?
By the way, when I say climate change, I mean the irradiation and the creation of keeping climate change going. Go ahead.
Would it also be traveling long distances in vehicles of our own, perhaps that guzzle gas?
I'm sorry, but that's not on. That's not what our survey said. It's actually guns.
Well, that was hunting. That was the joke there.
And because, freedom.
Yeah.
And coronavirus.
Right. Well, I don't think we love that.
And cages.
Okay.
That's what they were sticking them. They were sticking kids in cages. They may have been a different color.
I like, you know what? Ron's got it. Ron's got it. Porn, chicken, and money.
Porn, chicken, and money.
Well, here's another one. We also love our pharmaceuticals. Anything that means that we can just take a pill rather than have to change our lifestyle.
Or feed those pills to kids.
Oh, well, yeah, that's because that has to help our lifestyle too.
Yes.
It's not about their lifestyle, it's about our lifestyle.
It's all about, listen, the number one answer is convenience. That's what majority of asshole adults in this country are value over children's lives.
Yeah.
You know, you can post up a picture. It's funny because
hot take.
Not funny in any way, shape, or form, actually. Sad and disgusting. If you posted a picture of the children who were murdered in Sandy Hook and said, you value your weapon over these kids' lives, you would have a barrage of people coming after you. Mm-hmm. And ripping into you about it's freedom and it's this and it's that and we all deserve it and blah, blah, blah. If children are dying or children are suffering at the hands, so that way you can keep whatever bullshit freedom is in your mind at the moment, it ain't worth it. I'm sorry. I feel like freedom.
I feel like one of the biggest things that honestly what it comes down to, you know what people like, what Americans love more than children is being right. That's what it comes down to. It's a matter of being right. They want to feel right. It's a matter of the right to their opinion, whether their opinion is right or not. And I'm very guilty of that from a younger man's, perspective. When I was younger, I did that all the time. I felt like I had the right to throw my opinion around and everyone was going to listen to it and it meant more and be out of blah, blah. And as you get older, it doesn't matter. That's not necessary. That becomes more hurtful, detracts from anything from anyone gaining, from anyone growing. And that's just more important to use that to work together. And unfortunately, being right has come at the expense of being correct.
And being right is often looked upon as like having freedom. And the fact of the matter is, being right is not important. Doing right is what is important. And it pisses me off that nobody's willing to do it. But they're more than happy to argue with you that they are.
I mean, we look back at the greatest generation, and the reason they were the greatest generation is because of the sacrifices they made, pure and simple. And it's difficult to see moving forward why.
I don't agree with that term.
Totally fair, but I think there were levels of no, things were terribly wrong back then. Whoa. There was abhorrent, abject racism. There was terrible things going on in the way that women were treated. You know, there were major equality issues. There were things up and down the line that we are still struggling with to this day. I am not saying that it was best in that. I'm saying from a parental standpoint, we looked to doing better for our children. They looked for doing better and building more stability for their family. Does that make more sense? Is that a better way to say it?
I agree,
okay.
But here's my argument. Like, I have children. I want great things for them, and I work hard for them.
You don't want Tank Girl for your kids?
No.
No?
No.
You don't want Mad Max? I'm telling you, I want River to be all about some Mad Max, man. She's going to go mess some shit up.
Listen, there is some level of convenience I do enjoy having, and Mad Max World is not one of them.
Does it fit your tangible idea of relaxation and comfort?
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
That is unfortunate because it's definitely in mine.
Hey,
we're in 2021, bro, and I tell you what, I haven't done yet. Wore my tire outfit. It's coming.
Oh my god. I will say this though, and this adds to what Chris says. My children are other people's children. I get what you're saying there. The argument being not against you, but people who actually do say, "Oh, my children." This and again, it's not right. If your children are doing well and your children are taken care of, then we have an obligation to make sure that other children that we can help are taken care of too. Again, we try to teach our children.
You fucking hippie liberal fuck. Where you want to hug the world?
No, I want children to be safe. I want children to have a safe environment. I want children to have I would love everybody to have a safe environment, but more importantly, children. I want them to have a safe environment.
Well, the safe potential to grow up and be able to proliferate and have the things we had, if not better.
Yeah.
That's always the goal, is, you know.
I don't know what Kingsley's saying damn to. I'm
probably something about how sexy you look in that shirt. You probably fired it up and you had a shade of red you got. Maybe that was
I have a feeling it was to your really racist movie idea of just black people only because you wanted to propagate not being a racist. I'm kidding, by the way.
You're hilarious.
Casey is amazing.
So many jokes.
No, that would be an amazing movie.
I know it would be an amazing movie. You don't have to continue to tell me about my amazing movie.
No, it's not.
That we need to write my amazing movie.
No.
What are you talking about? No.
I'm not right.
That would be a horror movie. Can you imagine it as a horror movie?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, but no, let's not fucking write it. What do you know? Blah, 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 blah.
I like it. All right. Okay, so Kingsley, we are kind of winding down, but Kingsley says legacy seeking is an innate trait even on the lowest levels. So I think people care about their children, but they are being lied to by people with power and then make self-sabotaging decisions for society. Yes,
that's
absolutely
exactly what happens, because we, once again, if you're able to control, like William Randolph Hearst always said, if you can control the media, you can control what the news is, you control people's daily lives. He was a nightmare. And now we have news stations dedicated to 24 hours of trying to be the most sensational thing happening. People, read a lot, find out sources. We have the internet. I beg you, please. But please look up sources. You look multiple.
Yes.
You can't just use one source of truth. There's tons of pages. When people get, it's too much to look up. Yeah, honestly, 30 minutes.
But if
30 minutes, if you really commit to it.
Here's the thing: if it's too much to do, because it takes too much work to do it, then don't act like a foremost authority when you're talking about it.
Yeah, admit
And
that.
that's a
Just
big
come
problem.
to it from that, because look, if you know nothing, you always have the opportunity to learn more.
Yeah.
Always. And learning and knowledge is the only thing that sets us free and helps us grow and builds.
Yep.
So
Chris says, I feel people believe one way until it happens to their kids. Seeing that all too much. Guns, death, suicide, substance abuse, gender, sexual preference, etc. But then we'll go even harder into pain. Yes. I mean, it happens. You're going to see things change and kind of go, especially when it comes to our children. We know, anybody who's a parent knows, like, that's going to be an influence.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
My big thing with that is, again, it's about doing what's right, not being right. So if something bad happens, you have to pull yourself back and be like, what is the right thing here? Like, I don't think people should give up their guns.
No.
I'm never calling for somebody to give up their guns.
Absolutely not.
But there's a level of gun that you don't need. You don't need.
I'm still going to say you're right. I think mental health checks in that scenario are
they're
vastly more important right now. Like, as far as, look, everything else 100%. Is going to take time, but let's get somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take one step, you ain't doing shit.
Yeah, 100%. Mental health checks are a huge part of it.
But before we go back down that rabbit hole, because we could have this conversation all night. We got some people saying goodnight, and I want to say goodnight to them. Ron, love you, man. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Jason, thank you.
Beautiful human
Appreciate
being.
it.
Enjoy yourself at 5:30 this morning, and if you can't enjoy yourself, I'll enjoy you for you.
And I will say this. We'll finish off with my surefire way to piss off people who may lean to the side that we don't agree with.
But no, stop making it that.
Here's what you do.
You just don't agree with certain parts of certain things, man. Be careful with those broad strokes.
Okay,
broad strokes create more damage.
But because I'm pigeonholing them all, here's how you piss them off. You go up to them and you say, "Hey, have you heard of this George Strait? Is he an entertainer of some kind?" And everyone's head will explode. I promise you. And it's amazing. And then you pepper the conversation you have as they try to explain George Strait with you with titles of his songs in your sentences. And you'll have a fun time.
Well, that would be difficult because that'd be a lot to carry from West Virginia down to Tennessee. Unless you're moving with a good Lord speed.
Listen, I'm not pure country or anything, but I will say.
You know what? Whenever I have a difficult situation, I usually try to just trim it down to checking yes or no.
I love it. George G3 says, kind of like hating Three Amigos. That just makes you a monster.
It does.
It makes you a monster. How do you hate that? Okay, everybody. Well, it's been a good show.
I thought it was a pretty good show.
A great conversation.
I hope you all enjoyed this show.
Yes,
that's really what matters.
Kingsley,
and if you didn't, I want you to tell Mick. Don't tell me.
Yeah, tell me.
I do not take anything negative well at all.
Email us at the Scene Snobs @gmail.com. That's what it is. Just go to the new scenesnobs.com website. I would defend my house with the Mosin Nagant, but I'd need massages.
Pew pew. I'll give up my guns for $3,000 each and become a Hattori Hanzo within 5 years.
That one I got.
Yeah.
I understood that reference.
Believe that 100%.
Okay. Well, everybody, this has been the Scene Snobs podcast. You can go check out the scenesnobs.com when we have everything. You can check out our merch, our Patreon, everything, the whole 9 yards.
Yes, please join if you'd like to. Please, always a pleasure. We love you all. Thanks so much, and be kind to each other.
Before we go out, I do want to show off this month's prize for our Patreon winner, which will be announced on the 31st.
Which happens later.
Is the movie quotes drinking game.
Hooray!
We will announce that on the 31st. If you sign up for the Patreon, you will be included in the choice to win the prize. But again, last one. Sorry, tell them about nooneleft.org.
Check it out.
All right, go check out nooneleft.org. And also, I want to say we love you, everybody. And Len, we love you, buddy.
Love you, Len.